Oh. Hello, today I am going to start with
unit step function, Laplace transforms of unit step function. So I'm going to consider, I'm going to send these notes on the in the classroom. So I'm going to consider the unit step function. See, we come across in physical situations. See, we come across the functions like here I consider the function like this. I draw the graph. See, till a point A, the value will be 0. Right? It takes the value 0. At point A, it jumps to 1, and from A onwards, it continues to have the same value. It behaves like a constant function. That is, from t less than a, the value of f of t will be 0. For t greater than a, it is 1. Right? So a is the point of jumping point, or it jumps to unity. That's why it is called as unit step function. So in certain physical situations, we come across the function, or we come across a situation wherein up to certain level A, especially in signals, say up to certain level it will be 0. From that point onwards, it jumps to a certain value. We usually take it as unit because we can always say, if it, for example, if it jumps to 2, I can multiply unit step function by 2, twice the unit step function, so it jumps to 2. So like that, we come across the physical situation in case of signals. So up to certain level, it will be 0. From that point onward, it takes certain value and it continues with the same value. Such functions we call as unit step function. So we are going to study here unit step function. We are going to study unit step function. So such a function where up to a point A always is greater than 0. So greater than or equal to 0 also I can consider. A can be 0, and see, up to this distance, it takes the value A, and after that, it suddenly jumps to 1. That is, it jumps to 1, and it takes further, it takes the same value. That's why it is called as unit. So this is called as unit step function, and we usually denote this by h of t minus a, right? But it has that t minus a has nothing to do with. It is not a function of t minus a. Here, this first letter indicates t is the variable, and second letter, this a, indicates what? It is the jumping point. Till a, the value is 0, and after a, it takes the value 1. So that's what it means. So if I write h of t minus a, right? So here, this t indicates what? The variable, and this a indicates what? The constant at which uh, the value jumps to 1, right? So this function is called as unit step function. So we come across the unit step function. Don't worry, I'll send these notes once the class is over, right? So what I will do is consider a function where up to for a greater than 0, right? Up to value a, it takes 0, right? 0. Then from a onwards, once it reaches a, from a onwards, it takes 1. It takes the value 1. That is unity. That's why it is called as unit step function, right? So this such function is called as unit step function. Unit step function and is denoted by h of t minus a. Right? It is not a function of t minus a. Here, see, don't confuse with t minus a here. So here, what it is? It is the variable. It represents the variable. See, this t represents the variable. Either it can be x minus a, it can be z minus a, or it can be u minus a. Right? So this t represents the variable of that function, and a gives you what? The point at which, right, it jumps, or jumping point I can say, at which the function takes one value, takes the value as 1. There onwards it remains the same. It remains the same throughout. So such a function we call as unit step function. Right? So here, this is denoted by h of t minus a, and how the graph looks like. The graph looks like this. See, this is x-axis, this is t-axis, now, right? So up to let this be the point A, right? Up to point A, the value of y is 0. The value of the function is 0, right? Up to value, this is h of t minus a. For t less than a, it is 0. Then from a onward, it takes the value 1. So this will be h of t minus a for a greater than 1. Right? So, sorry, for t greater than a. Right? So this is the graph of unit step function. So this is unit step function h of t minus a, right? So this is how we represent the unit step function. Now, how mathematically I can write this? I can write this as, I will send you the notes. Don't just carefully listen to the lecture and note down the points where you got the doubt, and you can refer to the notes. And if you still could not follow, you can discuss in the next class, or you can post these questions in classroom, Google Class, so that I can answer those questions in the next class. Right? Now, how I write this? Is h of t minus a will be equal to, it is 0 for 0 or t less than a, I can say t less than a, right? Whenever I consider t less than a, then it will be 0. So any value here, see, here all these values, they are less than a values. All these t, they are less than a values. So what is h of t minus a? It will be 0. Whereas if I consider t greater than these values, it will be 1 for t greater than a. Right? It will be 1 for t greater than a. So this is the unit step function. It is denoted by h of t minus a. In some books, they use u also, u to represent unit step function. Right? So this is how we write the unit step function. Right? Now I am going to find out the Laplace transform of unit step function, and also we are going to study the case of Heaviside shift theorem. If I multiply a function by unit step function, what happens? That we are going to study. Now I am going to study Laplace transform of unit step function, right? Laplace transform of unit step function. That is, I am going to discuss about L of h of t minus a. So what that will be? So this will be equal to, by definition, it is 0 to infinity e power minus st h of t minus a dt. Right. So now see, I have got h of t, two values at two different intervals. See, for t less than a, the value is 0. For t greater than a, the value is 1. So I make use of that. I write this as integration from 0 to 0 to a, because I am from a up to a one value, from a onward the other value. So e power minus st h of t minus a dt plus integration from a to infinity, right? It is e power minus st into h of t minus a dt, right? What I did, why I divided the integral into two parts, because I have got two values, two different values at two intervals, right? Two different intervals. So for t less than a, the value is 0. For t greater than a, the value is 1. That's why I have divided this 0 to infinity into two parts. 0 to a, e raised to minus st, h of t minus a dt, plus a to infinity, e power minus st, h of t minus a dt. So what is the value of h of t minus a in 0 to a? In 0 to a, that means it is t less than a value. So t less than a, the value is 0. So I get this to be 0, right? Similarly, and from a onward, the value of h of t minus a is 1. So I get this value as 1, right? So this value is 0, this value is 1. So I am left with what? Integration from a to infinity e power minus st into dt. That's all, because h of t minus a is 1. So what is the value of this? So this will be equal to what? E power minus st by minus s from a to infinity, right? From a to infinity. So what is the value? E power minus infinity. So this I can write as e power minus infinity by minus s minus e power, instead of t I have to write as, so minus as by minus s. Correct now? Minus as by minus s. Upper limit minus the lower limit. You know that e power minus infinity is 0. So first term gives me 0. So minus with this minus becomes plus. Therefore, what is my final answer? So this will be equal to what? E power minus as by s. So that is my final answer. Therefore, what I can say, L of h of t minus a, this you have to remember, this formula is required. So therefore, what is L of h of t minus a, the unit step function is what? It is e power minus as by s. So this is the result which you have to remember, because we are going to apply these results in the in solving the problems, right? So now I will consider this is very simple case. Suppose if I take a as origin, a is equal to 0. See, if I consider a graph where this point itself is a, so up to t less than a, it is 0. From the origin, it is 1. Suppose if graph is like this, cos a is equal to 0. So what will be f of h of t minus a? H of t minus a will be 0 for t less than 0, 1 for t greater than 0. That means it is as good as L of 1, right? So if I put a is equal to 0 here, see, this will be 1 by h if a is equal to 0. I can have a cross check, because if a is 0, the function starts from origin and it takes the value throughout. So what is the value of this? This is h of t minus 0, which is same as f of t, which is equal to 1. H of, right? So this is 1 throughout. For t greater than 0, it is 1 throughout. That is L of 1. If L of 1 is, we have already derived L of 1. L of 1 is what? 1 by S. So this is just a cross check. If I put A is equal to 0, I can get the result of L of 1 in unit step function, right? So this is cross check. That's all. Now I am going to study. Say I am going to study Heaviside shifting theorem. Shifting theorem. See, anyway, you need not. Proof is very simple. I can easily prove this, but proof is not there. I can give you as a homework. I can even upload. See, as I told you, the proof of periodic functions, Laplace transforms of periodic functions, the proof of Laplace transform of unit step function, the all those things. I'll certainly record the video like this, and I'll upload it in the classroom. As of now, see, as of now, I have got only 26 students in my class, in my Google class. I don't want, see, I want everybody to join. Just 26 students means today evening or by this weekend, on this Saturday, I'm going to give you the assignments and question bank from Laplace transforms, whatever we have discussed so far. And I'll take the previous year's questions. I'll just jot down and I'll upload it in the Google class. Among them, I'll give you some 5 assignment questions. You have to write and submit it in the Google class only. So let me see, in that way, can I have more registrations in the Google class, right? I have already shared the link. I have told n number of times to class representative. I have requested n number of times to class representative, but that's of no use. Only 26 students have registered so far. That is the problem. See, now I am going to study, we are going to study Heaviside shift theorem. See, what it says is that f of t be a function of t. Function of t, right? Obviously, always we consider t to be greater than 0. So always t will be, this function is defined for positive values of t, because my Laplace transform, it starts with 0 to infinity. Means I am considering only positive values of t. I am going to consider integration of 0 to infinity e power minus st ft dt. What do you mean by this? I am considering the values lying between 0 to infinity. That means I am considering only the positive values of function, means variable t, right? That's what you mean by integration from 0 to infinity. So whenever I say ft is a function of t, always you have to assume that t is always greater than 0, right? I need not specify. In case of Laplace transforms, so I need not tell every time that t is always greater than 0, greater than 0. Whenever I start telling about the Laplace transforms, it means that it is always, t is always greater than 0. So let ft be a function of t and h of t minus a be a unit step function. Unit step function. So what do you mean by h of t minus a? As I told you again and again, I am repeating. See, I have told that this h of t minus a, that means what? It is a function of t and jumping point is a. Don't think that h of t minus a is a function of t minus a. It is not that way, right? So the h of t minus a is the unit step function. This t indicates the variable of that function, and the other constant indicates the jumping point. So jumping point means till that point the value of function is 0. After that point it becomes 1. That's what is the unit step function means. Whereas suppose if I say f of t minus a, if I consider f of t minus a, I write here, right? Then what do you mean by that? This means what? This function is a function of t minus a, right? The t minus a means what? Wherever the variable appears, it appears in the form of t minus a. See, suppose if I say f of a is equal to t minus a, that means what? I should have t minus whole square, t minus a whole square plus sine of t minus a plus e raised to t minus a. Suppose if I consider this function. Suppose if I consider this function. See, if you look at these variables, they appear in the form of t minus a only. See, f of t minus a means t minus a whole square plus sine of t minus a plus e raised to t minus a. That means wherever the variable appears, it appears in the form of t minus a only. So, if I say f of t minus a, it is a function of t minus a. Whereas this h of t minus a, h of t minus a means what? It is not a function of t minus a. Here, this t minus a, just it is an indicator. First letter t gives me the variable, a gives me the constant at which the function takes the unity. That is, till a, it will be 0. A onwards, it will be 1. That's what is h of t minus a represents. Don't get confused with h of t minus a as a function of t minus a, right? So, here, I am taking the step function. Then what the Heaviside theorem says is then by Heaviside shifting theorem. Heaviside is the name of the scientist who worked majorly in Laplace transforms. Right? Again, Laplace is name of the scientist who worked on this transform, this kind of transform. So Heaviside shifting theorem, we get L of, again, I prove this theorem. It is not there in your syllabus, but I will prove this. I will record the proof and I will upload it in Google Class. So f of t minus a of h of t minus a will be equal to. See here, that's why I repeatedly told. See, h of t minus a is not a function of t minus a. It is just an indicator. T is the variable, a is the point at which the function takes the unity value, right? Whereas this f of t minus a, it is a function of t minus a. Function of t minus a. That means what? If you look at the function, always the variable should appear as a t minus a only, t minus a also, as I discussed in the previous example, right? If I come across such situations, then I call that as function of t minus a. So here, this f of t minus a is a function of t minus a, times h of t minus a gives me the unit step function. So that will be equal to, I'll continue in the next class. I'll stop now. You have to rejoin because it takes only for half an hour. As I told you, 8:30 to 9 one slot, then 9:05 I'll rejoin again. 9:05 onwards you can rejoin and we can continue till 9:30. Right? 9:05 I join again and I'll continue. I'll end now. So I'll continue at 9:05. Please join again. Last time you people have not joined only. I felt very bad. I just wanted to stop that because Google, if I use Google Class, that autofocus problem comes. Whereas Google, this Zoom, once it is focused, there will not be any blur and all. So you get clear video. So that is the advantage of Zoom Meet. That's why I'll go for Zoom Meet only here onward. The thing is 8:30 to 9 I'll take, then 9:05 or 9:07 because rejoining the Google might take time. So up to 9:07 have some cushion period. 9:07 to 9:10 you join again, right? So I'll end now. And if you want, I can even upload this video also in the Google Class. That I have done earlier. So I'll do the same thing now also, right? I'll end now and I'll see you at 9:07 exactly, right? I'll take the attendance that time.